Full moon eclipse on May 5th. Let's dive into this. This is a powerful full moon. This is a powerful portal. It is a powerful time of destiny, of karma, of shadow. I know, underworld, unconscious. Yeah, Pluto's in the mix. It's a Scorpio full moon. The South Node. Yeah, I know. I want to talk about that. This is great though, and I want to talk about why it's great, and I want to give you some really tangible, I want to make this practical, like something you can sink your teeth into. I don't want to talk all esoteric-y, astrological lingo. I want to really give you some powerful, I was going to say personal development practices. I'm like, are they personal development? Are they spiritual? Is it inner work? Is it soul work? It's all of it. It's all of it. But I want to give you some really, like I want to get my hands in there. It's like I want to get my hands digging the dirt. That might be the Taurus energy talking. The sun is in Taurus, right? The North Node is in Taurus. We're talking this Taurus-Scorpio axis. And I want to give you some really amazing, like a buffet of different things to feel into and different things to think about. So I'm gonna invite you to kind of settle in. I think this is gonna be a little bit workshop style. Yeah, it's still podcast or a YouTube video, depending on where we're hanging out in this. But you know, what if you looked at this as, this is my personal practice for the day. Like, this is my inner journey for the day. This is going to be something that gives me aha moments, or gives me the next right step in my life, or shines a light on something I've been confused about. There's a lot potentially of confusion or chaos. This is almost like divine fuckery right now. And I want to talk about this, and I want to give us just a journey. This is a journey, just a journey into beyond some of that like mental chaos or some of the fog that we might be feeling, and shine a light on what's going on, some of these deeper processes that are happening. There are some crazy deep processes happening, and I want to go into those with you and give you some ways to get the most out of it. Everything that I do here is, when it comes to astrology, is how to get the most out of this, how to get the most out of this moment in time, how you can, for your own growth, for your own evolution. This is a moment. Eclipses are always about your highest becoming. I like calling it the great becoming. Those are kind of the words that I keep feeling lately, is your great becoming. You really stepping into, you singing the song that you were meant to sing. You dancing the dance that only you can dance. This unique potentials, these unique authentic, heart-aligned, soul-aligned geniuses that we all have. And now is this wild moment in time where it's like the wind is at our back, the sails are full, and we're able to get in this slipstream and just be carried right on down the Destiny River, like right on down the Destiny River. We kind of have to jump into the river though. We have to jump into the river and put the sails up. So that's what this conversation is about. It's how to jump into the river and how to put the sails up so that you can be just beautifully, gracefully whisked along this river of destiny into your highest potentials. Doesn't that sound great in an eclipse season? Yeah, there's gonna be a few like rapids, like white water rapids in this river. Potentially, we'll talk about those. Some big boulders that you're gonna want to, kind of maneuver around. I was gonna say sand traps, but that's golf. That's not going down a river. But we'll talk about some of these like hazards to look out for as well. All right, so I'm going to invite you to listen from a place that's deeper than just the mind. Right now, Mercury is retrograde. This is stunning and glorious. Pluto also goes retrograde, depending on when you're listening to this, on May 1st. Yeah, so we have, and Pluto to me is deep psychological processes. He has many things, but one of which is deep psychological processes. Deep subconscious, unconscious, deep territory. deep psychological processes. Just sit with that for a moment. Mercury is the mind, typically the thinking mind, the mind that we're very aware of, the conscious mind, let's just call it, the one that we're aware of. We catch our thoughts, we know what we're thinking, we use our mind to do many things. But here's the cool thing. When Mercury is retrograde, he's pointing inward. He's messenger of the gods. He's pointing inward, wanting, this is so good, to dive deeper into our psyches, which is glorious for Pluto going retrograde and an eclipse season, all about your destiny, all about karma. This is a moment in time where we have a capacity to shift karma in a way that we've maybe never shifted it before. I have been doing this work for a good long time now, and I have never experienced in myself some of the intense shifts that are happening. Things that I thought would never shift in my life. Things that I had just kind of gone, okay, like, okay, maybe this will shift, maybe this will not shift. But I've had it for 43 years and I'm watching things shift. Kind of like, what? And I'm not just watching this in myself either. This isn't just a Sabrina magical moment. I'm really watching those who have jumped in the river, right? Have jumped in the river and are opening up to some of these deeper psychological processes, these deeper, even like psycho-spiritual processes, these deeper, more mystical. There's a lot of mysticism during eclipses. There's a lot of mystery that happens during these times. It's stunning. This is also a moment of awakening, of waking up to your next level of consciousness, as well as waking up to your next level of love. Your next level of love. Okay, so I know I keep bouncing around and I want to slow it down a little bit. So I invited you to listen from a deeper place than just the mind. So maybe just feel into your heart for a quick moment and go, okay, can I hear with my heart? And then maybe go into your belly for a quick moment. Can I hear with my belly? By the way, this is just a really good practice for this eclipse. It's a Taurus. It's a Taurus Scorpio eclipse. Taurus is very, very embodied. Some of the insights will come through body wisdom, right? Like a gut feel, a tightening of the heart, an opening of the heart, tension in the body, misalignment in the body, showing you that you're actually misaligned in your life in some area. So really one of the things that I can definitely point to as a very tangible way of getting more out of this moment in time is pay attention to the physical. Pay very close attention to physical objects, to physical body, to physical things like money and property, and how the physical world is maneuvering around you. I know, and with Mercury and Pluto both going retrograde, it's almost as if a different perspective, we have a capacity to switch on a different perspective, but we have to drop, right? So it's like dropping out of waking consciousness, just every day, like go, thinking about this, to do this, we're rushing all of the gosh darn time. But to just slow down, and it's almost like, okay, if I were gonna bring my eyes deeper into my belly, now how do I see the world moving around me? I am telling you, the insights that are here are crazy stunning. When we can, and to me, we could go higher in our perspective, but there's something to be said about going deeper with our perspective. So just imagining you take your eyes and you start to see through your belly, or you start to see through, if you have a womb, your womb, or you start to see through your heart. Start to see through deeper wisdom centers of the body. So if the mind is the upper wisdom center, Heart centers, middle wisdom center, and then lower wisdom centers like Dantian, Hara, that area just below the belly button, right? Just bring the eyes to see through. So if I were to see through my belly, right, I suddenly I feel things. That's how I see. I will see through feeling more. I will feel tangible physical things in my world more. I will start to see, we'll dive into this, I will start to see power structures at play. I will start to see that what something is happening on a surface level, actually, if I start to see through my lower wisdom center or my belly, I start to see the power dynamics that are happening. I start to see that this situation is actually a power play. It's actually that power is wanting to reorganize itself. Physical life is showing me somewhere where I'm losing power, I'm giving away power, I'm overpowering another, I'm in some way being asked to purify my relationship to power, or up-level my relationship to power, or come into next right relationship with power. Power is going to be front and center. We have to bring our consciousness to it though. Otherwise we won't see it. That's the wild part about this particular eclipse, about a South Node Scorpio eclipse with Pluto up in the mix. It's so deep. It's so deep. And so that's what tools and practices do you have to get you deeper? I am telling you, one of the greatest things that we can do for ourselves during this eclipse season is go into altered states of consciousness. Altered states of consciousness, deeper states of consciousness, not higher ones. Deeper, more embodied states of consciousness, right? Where we're deepening in. That's why I was saying, take the eyes and start to see through the belly. Lower wisdom center practices, right? Shadow work, shamanic journeying is very powerful. Dark goddess work at this time is really, dark goddess, black moon. Let me just look really quick. Black moon is in a T-square to this eclipse. That is so deep, dark, shadowy, embodied. That is like the feminine roar, which if we were to look at feminine as soul, masculine as spirit, mother earth, father sky, and we just start to feel this real earthy, embodied, it's like the body, it's like the wisdom is in the bones, the wisdom is in the blood. If we go inward, as within, so without, as below, so above, right? That the tree of life, as above, so below. But the door that I'm seeing as the most profound door for us to walk through is a door that goes deeper. That's the doorway in. That's where majority of these gifts are going to be during this eclipse. It's not going to be transcendent meditation. It's the deepening in. The descent will bring you the ascent. Just feel into this for yourself. The descent actually brings you a far greater ascent. Right? It's like descending into the depths of soul, the depths of self. It's like there's a mirror happening, and as deep as you can go is as high as you can go. But right now, the juice is in the depths. The magic is in the depths. The discoveries are in the depths. The gifts, the unfoldings, the soul callings, the breadcrumb trail, the follow your bliss, that's in the depths. You finding your next greatest expression in life, your next highest potential, you finding that key to unlock that karmic relationship crap that you've been hauling around your whole life, or that karmic health pattern that you've been stuck with. It's like, what have you been burdened with? What in this life? This is a great question to ask ourselves. Like, what have you been burdened with? What have you been what is it? Can you see, like, if you're watching this on the video, I'm like hunching over, like I have this really heavy weight on my shoulders. Like I have this huge karmic backpack that I'm carrying around. I'm carrying the burden of my ancestors. I'm carrying the burden of this past life weird wounding. I'm carrying the burden of whatever sort of genetic material that got passed to me. And this is a moment in time where we get to go into the depths of that and become alchemists to that. The doors are so wide open to this. The grace is there, the light is there. It might be a little bit of a murky journey, or a descent. They're down into the depths. They're down into the dark. This is a south node in Scorpio, right? This is a full moon in Scorpio. That's the depths calling. With Black Moon, which is the conglomerate of all of the dark goddesses, that is the depths in a T-square to the fucking full moon. Pluto on the nodes, dancing square to the nodes, right? So if Pluto is like, this is crazy. Pluto's in a square also to Jupiter. This amplifies. Jupiter's conjunct Eris. Jupiter, amplifier, makes things bigger, makes it louder. It's making Pluto louder. Pluto, if we reverse that, if Jupiter is grace bombing Pluto, right? Jupiter is also grace, very benevolent. Jupiter grace bombing Pluto in a way of lighting Pluto up, lighting him up, like, hey, let's really shine a light on the gifts of the underworld, the gifts of the descent, the gifts of what resides in the depths of our being. There are hidden gifts there. Have you ever worked with the golden shadow? The golden shadow is in that territory. It is your unlocked potentials, unlocked gifts, it's like the geniuses inside of you waiting, just waiting for a light to be pointed at them. It's stunning. These things are stunning. Okay, so that's Jupiter shining a light on Pluto. And then if we reverse that and we go Pluto shining a light on grace, grace goes deeper, right? Grace goes deeper. Grace, Jupiter, benevolent, grace bomb that penetrates further in. Grace bomb that goes further in where grace bombs couldn't go in before. Can you feel that? This is so powerful, right? Another aspect is Pluto hitting Jupiter in this way. Let me just feel for a quick moment. Power, grace in power, grace to transform. Pluto's the great transformation. Pluto is the death for the rebirth, the phoenix rising. It is the great transformation, like great transformation. And it's power, like transformation of power. Jupiter, this is just, it's so fucking good. I normally don't hold public spaces or retreats during eclipses because I used to do them a lot, love them. But I really like to just be a little more quiet around eclipse seasons now. Not this one. We just came off of an in-person retreat, holding another group space this weekend, which is the last weekend in April. We've got shadow workshop, eclipse workshop. We just released dragon sessions. All of that's going on at this moment in time. I'm hanging out in our Facebook group for 4 days over the weekend, right? In the middle of these two eclipses, because I feel the potential that's here. And let me just feel for a quick second. It's hard to like shift back into self and to just feel, why the fuck am I doing this? I am incredibly exhausted. Here, let's get vulnerable and raw and real and honest with you. I am so shattered open and fucking exhausted. Running a 4-day in-person retreat takes everything that I have. Launching dragon sessions, right? A brand new program with dragon energy takes everything I have. I am exhausted, but I'm also so incredibly lit up and fulfilled and enlivened by this energy, right? I am also so feeling this moment in time to show the fuck up. For me, this is for me. This is for me. This is a moment of like really following sacred callings, really following what is our greatest potential and really blowing up upper limits. So for me, where I think, oh, that's my limit, I've hit my max capacity. No, that's that's a previous upper limit that's being blown to smithereens. It's being blown to smithereens. What I thought I was capable of doing is absolutely not it. And it's not about, I know some of you are over there like, oh my God, self-care, you're gonna hit burnout. It's not at all to do with that. It's not. It's for me, right? It's different for all of us. For me, it's breaking through a previous limit into what I didn't think was possible, into what is now possible. And that's what's going on for all of us, is where we thought we had maxed out, we haven't. Like, I've maxed out on my love. I can't love more. What if we called bullshit on ourselves, right? I can't, whatever it is, I can't be more creative. I can't be healthier. I can't, whatever. And for this moment in time, it's like deep desires, deep soul desires, soul longings. It's gotta come from the depths. There is no surfacing this eclipse, this moment in time. There is no surface wants will not do the trick for us. We cannot trick ourselves right now. We cannot sugarcoat something. We cannot tell ourselves that we will be satisfied with some muckety muck that maybe was semi-satisfactory a month ago. And now it's just not gonna do the trick. We've really got to, I'm just feeling Eris. Truth teller. There is this energy about truth teller. We've got dark goddess, right? Black moon squaring the sun and the moon in this beautiful T-square. That is a truth teller. We have Eris conjunct Jupiter, right? Which is in that square to Pluto. She is truth teller beyond truth teller, right? She is advocate for the truth. And here's how she operates. She will create, and this is the dark goddess too, Eris I would put in the dark goddess category. She will create chaos. She will create, so that's a really beautiful doorway in to where in my life is this eclipse lighting up? What in my life is this eclipse lighting up? The things that are chaotic right now, pay attention. The things that are agitating, she will agitate. She will agitate, she will annoy, she will create chaos. Where are you agitated? So what if instead of sweeping it under the carpet, you went into it? What if when you got triggered, you went into it? Instead of like, oh no, let's come back to love and light. Fuck love and light right now. This is not a time for love and light. You will get love and light in ways that you have never experienced love and light by descending. The descent brings the ascent. The descent will bring you love and light in an authentic, non-spiritually bypassing, fully embodied, fucking lighthouse kind of a way. That's what this moment in time is calling for. It's calling for shadow journeys. It's calling for South Node territory. It's calling for walking the destiny line. It's calling for working with powerful, embodied sacred energies, not out there sacred energies, embodied ones like Kundalini, like dragon energy, like other sacred energies that are very, very embodied, not like Sophia, the wisdom in the wind. I fucking love Sophia. I love that wisdom energy. It is stunning. This is not the time for it. If we are going off into air and we are going off into the upper realms right now, you want to really check yourself, because you are most likely missing out on some extraordinary things that could happen in your life. And I'm sharing this with fucking love, right? I'm showing up. I don't do astrology videos anymore. I don't do these anymore. This to me was the greatest thing that I could do this week on our podcast. It was to me the great, and feel into that for yourself. This is now a moment in time where it's not just because I can doesn't mean I should. Right? And let me refine that. Let me narrow that in. It's not, what am I called to do? It's what is the greatest thing I'm called to do? So feel into that. That's the shift that's happening. That's part of what this eclipse has made a shift into this new earth talk that everyone's yammering on about, right? There is a shift. It's a shift in consciousness. And one of the doorways into that shift is those exact words that I just shared there. It's not, what am I called to do? What is the greatest thing that I can do? What is the greatest expression of myself in this life? That's a question that'll fuck you up during this eclipse. That's a soul question. That's a soul fire question. That's a question that will strip you, burn you, and light you up like a Christmas tree and give you some wings, right? And that's the, dare I ask myself that question? Dare I go this deep? Dare I pray that prayer? These are powerful, powerful prayers. And when you put your passion, you put your juice behind it, you will go there, right? You will go. And so some of us really have this strong call to jump onto a new trajectory, to jump timelines. It might feel like that for you, to skip karma. I'm just giving you different ways to feel into it. None of these are right, of course. Words are just words, and words will never ever capture the truth of what's happening at all, but they're just at least something for us to feel into, to hopefully activate in ourselves. So to feel into that for yourself. I was meditating today. Let me give you this little story, because hopefully it'll take you a little bit deeper or shine a light on this like aspect of self. I'm meditating today, and it was like the deeper I could go, the more the insights would come. And then I would go to a more surface level, or another state of consciousness even. Another state of consciousness. And it was like, nope, this is not the place to be. You want to go here. Okay. And it's such a non-brain place. It's a non-thinking place. So for those of you who are very mental, I was a fucking scientist, right? If anybody was really, really mental, I love my brain, fucking love thinking. I love it. It's one of the greatest things that I get to do in this life, is to just think. I love it. But the gifts are beyond the thinking mind. They're in like the heart mind, they're in the gut mind, they're in the lower wisdom mind. They're deeper. They are deep, and I am telling you, the things that are arising are incredible. And from the deeper thinking, like deep psychological processes, deep purification processes are happening, deep healing processes, deep karmic patterns releasing, but we've got to journey deeper. So feel into that for yourself. What tools do you have in your tool chest? How are you journeying deeper? What can you do to get into these deeper realms of self? To descend. I know some of you have rewilding workshops that go into the dark goddess. Some of you have Kali or Lilith is a beautiful workshop. Persephone is a really great one right now. They're not open. Dark goddess is, if that's something you want to do, that one's open. Shadow takes you right into the depths, Eclipse takes you right into the destiny line. It will take you into those deep realms to walk the destiny line, that north node, south node. The what is being revealed to me in this moment? What is my greatest purpose? Not what is a purpose, right? How can I serve? What is the greatest way that I can serve? And when we hit that, the greatest way that I can serve, when we hit it from the deep depths of truth, that's when we hit fulfillment. That's when we hit, everything falls away. And it is just, we live our lives from this place of, this is what I came here to do. This is exactly what I came here to do. I know I am wired for this. I don't know how I know this, but I just know it, right? You start living from that place. That's what's opening up to astronomical degrees right now. And it's not just for the special few. It's on offer for all of us. But you have to get in the river. You have to get it. Even I've been working in these territories forever. I have to make a choice every day to get in the river, to take myself that deep, to go into practice, to go into those altered states, to go that deep, I still have to say yes to get in the river. And so that's what we all have to do, is it's choice. This is an enormous choice point. It's like the river is coming to a crossroads, right? The river is coming to it's like a fork in the river, right? And where are you gonna go? And it's a choice, right? One river is this fucking highest potentials, highest unfolding of you, the craziest, most alive, vivacious, fulfilling, love-filled life that you could possibly imagine, right? Or just kind of unconsciously squeak our way through this eclipse. Just kind of, oh, it's a full moon, that's cool. I'm just gonna go to work today and eke my way through the rest of my existence. I say it like, this is it. I really do feel that this is I don't know. I live from a place where this moment in time will never come again. Every moment to me is like that. This moment in time will never come again. This day will never come again. I wake up in the morning, this day will never come again. How amazing is this? This day will never come again. We will never get to be sitting here again. I will never do this conversation again. All right. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm feeling, what else would serve our conversation? I just feel this, work your central channel. There is this beautiful, amazing, sacred channel that runs through the center of your being. And if you've never worked there, I just suggest feeling into if that's a path for you, because right now it is a very, very powerful time to be working with it. Central channel, it's this rod of energy from the crown of your head down to the base of your spine. You can just kind of feel into it right now in this moment. It is a time to work that can represent, and during an eclipse season, it often represents the true north, right? That central column of yours can represent true north, your destiny line, that north node, south node line, which is lit up during eclipses. It's your highest path forward. So working in that territory is very, very powerful. Something to feel into as as an option. Purification, detoxing. So I'm going to give you some more of these tangible things. Detoxing, decluttering, getting rid of the old. This is a time of enormous death. This full moon is a death moon. Not from everyone's going to be dying, although eclipses can oftentimes be a doorway out for individuals, for souls. But this moment in time of what needs to die. And really just saying it like that. It's Scorpio. It's a Scorpio full moon. Let's love it. Instead of denying death, instead of denying the end, what if we loved it? Many of us have this awful relationship. I love doing feminine work. And I love going into like feminine embodiment work where we all think we've done so much, you know, feminine cyclical nature. I'm so good with my moon cycle and and then you bring up death and everyone's like, no, that's just a part of life. Death is life. Life is death, right? And so what if instead of denying that, all of this that we're talking about, Scorpio, South Node, Black Moon, Eris conjunct Jupiter, Pluto stationing, Mercury retrograde, all of that is pointing at the things that we deny. The things that we oppress, the things that we deny, and when we deny and repress them, we've given them power. So now all of the things that we've swept under the carpet, that we've denied, that we've repressed, that we've pretended isn't there, it gains power. It's gaining power, and it's gaining power at this moment in time where it needs an outlet. It's gonna squeak out in weird triggery ways, weird explosive anger ways. It will squeak out. It will squeak out because now's the moment when that door that's holding all of that repressed stuff, repressed memories, unprocessed emotion, past life karma that's ready to be shifted, ancestral shit we're carrying around with us. The backpack has gotten really heavy and now it's gonna start gassing out the top. Unless we unzip the dang thing, unzip it, give it some air, give it some light. That's what's being asked right now. And in that, we take our power back. We think power is so manipulated, and we've disempowered ourselves, or we've misused power. We get all kinky and weird around power. Power is pure, sacred power, heart-aligned power, right? That's sacred. Sacred power is what created you. Power is what fuels that tree growing. Power is what gives life. Power. It's power. But just sacred power, raw, like the raw, sacred, beautiful power. And it's really this moment in time and going forward for a good long time. Eclipses last 6 months. This one's going to last longer because Pluto is going to hold on to this crazy energy at the moment with his retrograding back and forth and the axes and yada, yada, yada. But we are going to be looking at power for a long time. If there was one theme that I would say to really pay attention to for the rest of the year, it's power. Power plays, power dynamics, purification of power, empowerment, authentic empowerment, sacred power, all power. It's just power, cleaning up power, cleaning up power, cleaning up power. Okay, let me go back to these tangible. By the way, if you want to work with power in a clean way, Dragon Sessions is a really great way to work with it. So I talked about a couple of the different programs that are open. If you're over there and you're like, Sabrina, this sounds great, I would just like to be guided into some territory. Like, I want to just let go. I don't want to have to think hard about this. I don't want to have to try to create my own shamanic journey, or I don't want to have to try to access the depths. Could you just point me in a direction? Shadow Workshop, Eclipse Workshop, Dragon Sessions, Dark Goddess Workshop too. Those are the 4 that I would recommend. Dragon Sessions is on sale. Same thing with Shadow and same thing with Eclipse. Those are all on sale at the moment. Up until, well, you'll see the details below. We'll put them in the description, those links. Some more tangible things to feel into. That's a tangible thing. Take a journey, be guided somewhere, letting go, going into the unconscious, into the depths. there's a reason that we can't see it. There's a reason it's hard to get in. It's because it's unconscious to us. It's hidden to us. So sometimes what we really need is a guide to go into the unconscious, right? But it doesn't have to be me. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form, right? It's, if that is true for you and you were called to that, hell yeah, like, fuck, my honor to journey with you into these places. If not, find ways to do it that sing to you, that resonate with you. Okay, let me think. Movement, move stagnant energy. Pluto is also about moving stagnation, moving stagnant energy. Let me feel. So in that detoxing, in the decluttering, in the letting go of old stuff. I mean, you can go clean out closets as a start, and then clean out your phone, clean out your wallet, your purse, your email, your computer. You can just really start there and see if you can let the external mirror the internal. Hold that intention, crazy powerful. I vacuum the house. This is a sneaky little weird thing that I do. I vacuum the house, and when I vacuum the house, it's a very deep meditation for me. So I'm physically vacuuming up the old, the dust, and I literally hold that intention that that's exactly what's happening in my internals. I'll clean the whole house because that's what's happening in my internals. Toilet cleaning's my favorite, really and truly. Like, anyone who knows me really well, they know I love cleaning toilets because it's like one of the deepest, most purification, cleansing processes that I do. So anyways, I've just random stuff that you can feel into for yourself around this eclipse time. Let me feel, there's a little bit of something I can talk a bit about. Doesn't feel like a super loud energy, but I'll share it here because it will hit some of you. Venus is squaring Neptune at the moment. So Venus, love, relationships, squaring Neptune. This could be higher love, more spiritual love. It could bring more sacred sexuality online. On a shadow side, so that's kind of the high side of things. On a more shadow side of things, it can bring disillusionment to relationships. It can bring projections. It can bring addictions online. It can make things foggy and fuzzy for us. So just something to kind of think about. I think the other piece that I want to talk about with this eclipse, it just kind of keeps pinging me, is what's ending in your life? What's ending in your life? Full moon eclipse, it's a culmination, it's an ending, and it being a south node eclipse, is there something karmic that's ending? And karmic might not help you to get to what is ending, but what if we can, like I was talking about before, what if we can honor death and honor birth? There is a way that we can really allow these endings to be grace-filled. We can allow them to really untangle and gift us. And gift, if it's a person that we're ending something with, gift that person. If it's a thing, if it's a place, if it's a whatever, to just the gifting be in the ending, right? So just feel into that, and there can be a reframe, like a reframe around this of the ending. I shared this with a friend the other day. What if the ending wasn't this great horrific loss? What if the ending was creating more spaciousness for the new? What if that's the ending? What if, and what if we can just honor and be so grateful for what it was and what it gifted us with? And just like from deep soulful level, like deep bow, like I am so grateful for this journey. I am so grateful for all the gifts. I am so grateful for what this was. And I am also so grateful for this ending. So that's just something to kind of feel into around this particular eclipse. Gosh, I just wish so much goodness for you during this eclipse. Go deep, be held, find spaces where you can be held, find spaces that will take you deeper. Dive into your own practices, dive into some of those workshops, all of those workshops if you feel called to them. I know someone who's doing shadow eclipse every day, like rotating, going into shadow territory and then an eclipse and then into shadow and then into eclipse. So these aren't just one-off workshops. They were designed so that you could journey into your underworld anytime, so that you can work your destiny line anytime, right? It's if you're interested in dragon sessions, actually, if you haven't watched this video, I invite you to watch it next. It's energy that kind of represents this moment in time, these possibilities of higher timelines, of new potentials, of accessing our highest potential, of this expanded state of consciousness of new earth. So that's the video. We'll put that next. I'll put a link up here and down here. That's the video that I invite you to go watch next if you're not diving straight into a workshop. Yeah. All right. So much love to you. Would love to see your faces in the comments below. I love reading all of your comments and just being with you. I would love to hear, let me feel for a quick second. I know y'all want to go. You're like, come on, Sabrina. I would love to hear, what is the practice that you are most called to do during this full moon? So if you want to share something, just a prompt. And it's also, I'm kind of giving you that as a gift for yourself to take a moment and take the time to just feel into, what is the practice I'm most called to? And whether you leave it in the comments or not, even just taking that moment in time to feel into it for yourself and getting really real, like, wow, I'm really called to go deep. I'm actually really called to go into shadow. I'm really called to this dragon energy. Like, what is this new kundalini, this new sacred energy, this working with the central column? Like, I'm really called to that. What is that? So just, that's kind of my final offering. And I'd love to witness anything that you feel to share in the comments. I just love being with you all here on YouTube. And it was super fun to come back and do an astrology video. These are not going to be consistent by any means. It was just, this moment in time is so beautiful. And this felt like the greatest thing that I could bring to our space during the podcast this week. All right. I love you all so much. I will see you when I see you, where I see you, and how I see you. Mwah!